Welcome, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in Jeremiah chapter 13. We have notes from the translators. It says, "In the type of a linen girdle hidden at Euphrates, God prefigureth the destruction of his people." Okay, there's a similitude there. "And under the parable of the bottles filled with wine, he foretelleth their drunkenness in misery." 15, he exhorteth to prevent their future judgments. 22, he showeth their abominations are the cause thereof. Okay, so we know about the Euphrates. That's in the news today, and that's the old river that ran through the Middle East and ran through the Babylon area, etc. And it is in Bible prophecy there in the book of Revelations. Another subject for another day. It says in chapter 13, verse 1, it says, "Thus saith the Lord unto me, Go and get thee a linen girdle, and put it upon thy loins, and put it not in water." Okay, so Jeremiah, of course, he's going to obey, as he always did. 2, it says, "So I got a girdle according to the word of the Lord, and put it on my loins. And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, Take the girdle that thou hast got, which is upon thy loins, and arise, go to Euphrates, and hide it there in a hole of the rock. So I went and hid it by Euphrates, as the Lord commanded me." Period. 6, "And it came to pass after many days that the Lord said unto me, Arise, go to Euphrates, and take the girdle from thence which I commanded thee to hide there." Okay, this similitude's going on, folks, and it will make sense. It will have the plain speaking to come up here. 7, it says, "Then I went to Euphrates and digged, and took the girdle from the place where I had hid it, and behold, the girdle was marred, it was profitable for nothing." Period. Okay, well, here it comes. Here comes the word. In 8, "Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Lord, After this manner will I mar the pride of Judah, and the great pride of Jerusalem." Okay, so now you're getting the reason for the similitude. In 10, it says, "This evil people, which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart, and walk after other gods, to serve them and to worship them, shall even be as this girdle, which is good for nothing." Period. Okay, look, they're going after the other gods, and we have a list of all those gods, from Malcolm, Baal, Bel, Ashtaroth, plenty of these other gods, Dagon. Okay, those are just names, and in the occult you never get hung up on their names, because they change names as the people that are following them, like Rothschild changed from, they had the name before in Germany called Bauer, and after they set up the Nazis, then they changed their name to Red Shield, Rothschild. So the gods changed their names. But notice the imagination of their heart. Okay? That is a conspiracy to do evil in your heart. Imagination. It's used by the world government today in a positive manner in Satanism. Imagine, see? But actually, in the Old English, in the Bible, it's evil. It's the evil conspiracy in your heart to do evil against God. Okay, but what is he telling you? That Judah and Jerusalem are going to be good for nothing here. Okay? In 11 it says, "For as the girdle cleaveth to the loins of a man, so have I caused to cleave unto me the whole house of Israel, comma, and the whole house of Judah, comma, saith the Lord, that they might be unto me for a people, and for a name, and for a praise, and for a glory. But they would not hear." Period. Now you see how many times this is in here. And I just can't get over the people that I've known that when I start to explain this to them, they are absolutely astounded. They want to plug both ears. I mean, we had a song that we did years ago about the calf being created there when they left Egypt. And we played it in front of some of the church ladies, and that was it. They never did that again. I said, "Oh, man, you need to read your Bible. That's all they did was go back to this." And they were offended at me. Doesn't matter that it's in here all these times, folks. They actually had deceived themselves into saying that when Aaron made that calf, that was the end of the idolatry, that they were admonished, and that it never happened again. See how stupid they are. They are just biblically unlearned, and to this day, that's all they do is sit in the pews. But do you think they will study and learn what they're talking about? Yeah, that was a one-time incident, right? The calf was made there with Aaron, and that was the end of it. They were punished, and that never happened again. Can you believe your ears? And that lady, she's a preacher, and she is still sitting in the pews in the same place, still going and asking her pastor questions, okay? When the blind lead the blind, they fall into the ditch, okay? All right, so they would not hear, and they're profitable for nothing. All right, so that's plain speaking. And here we go in 12. It says, with a new paragraph, "Therefore thou shalt speak unto them this word, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, every bottle shall be filled with wine, and they shall say unto thee, Do we not certainly know that every bottle shall be filled with wine?" Question mark. Okay? So he's always got these little skits to do in front of Israel and Judah. "Then shalt thou say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will fill all the inhabitants of this land, even the kings, little k, that sit upon David's throne, and the priests, little p, and the prophets, little p, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with drunkenness." So by doing this, they don't have eyes to see, they don't have ears to hear. They are living the lie. They have strong delusion here, not sobriety, not looking around the world at what's going on. not looking in the mirror to see themselves, are they sinning or not? This is a drunkenness sent from the Lord. Ouch. Terrible place to be. It is a blind place to be. It is a place to not have ears or eyes or be able to discern the seasons and the times that you're in. Drunkenness. 14. And I will dash them one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, saith the Lord. I will not pity, nor spare, nor have mercy, but destroy them. Ouch, this is going to the end times, folks. Because remember, this dividing is coming. Remember how, and I know God repeats himself, but this is a destruction from the Lord here. So he is very angry over this idolatry. And again, I can go into it again. This does not go away here. When God goes to destroy, you're destroyed. So anyway, I could say the same thing again. There is a first meaning here in this time, and then this goes all the way to the end times, because there's worshiping the other gods. When you have the Kabbalah and the Talmud and the Zohar, you have all three of those, and that's the gods of your land and the obelisks and the idolatry and all that. It doesn't change. You can't have the Kabbalah and not be Antichrist. It's the two things. It meshes well with Buddhism. All types of Kabbalahism meshes with Satanism. It meshes with lots of the ungodly religions of the world that the Lord hates. But it will not for 1 second harmonize with God's doctrine. It just will not. It is against God's doctrine, and even the Talmud itself promotes the Antichrist. All right, in 15, hear ye and give ear. Be not proud, for the Lord hath spoken. 16, it says, give glory to the Lord your God before he caused darkness, and before your feet stumble upon the dark mountains. And while ye look for light, he turn it into the shadow of death, and make it gross darkness. Now I'm telling you, this shoots right to the end times also. It goes for everybody, not just Judah and Israel here. Okay, although the first meaning is right here to Judah and Israel, no questioning that. They're harmonizing this statement with Isaiah 8:22, as the Bible does harmonize with itself. However, we got to look around. Look where we're at today. And the real day of darkness is coming. The sun will not give its light. The moon will withdraw her shining. The stars will fall from heaven and will not give their light on that great day of the Lord. 17, but if ye will not hear it, my soul shall weep in secret places for your pride, and mine eye shall weep sore, and run down with tears, because the Lord's flock is carried away captive. And that goes right there to the Salmansar first and Nebuchadnezzar second, carrying away into Babylon, and that prophecy surely came true in that day back then. In 18, it say, unto the king and to the queen, humble yourselves, sit down, for your principalities shall come down, even the crown of your glory. So the great people here are going to fall. And that's absolutely true. When Nebuchadnezzar came back before Zedekiah, and after Zedekiah turned on them, the great people, the rich people, the people in authority, the priests, those are the people that were slapped down the hardest. 19, the cities of the south shall be shut up, and none shall open them. Judah shall be carried away captive, all of it. It shall be wholly carried away captive. All right, so there's that. That's the Nebuchadnezzar carrying away in 19. 20, it says, lift up your eyes and behold them that come from the north. Where is the flock that was given thee? Thy beautiful flock. Oh boy. And where are they? They're carried away, folks. They're turned into slaves, carried away to Babylon, and the other killed. All right. So we've been over that a bunch here in the history. 21, it says, what wilt thou say when he shall punish thee? For thou hast taught them to be captains, and as chief over thee. Shall not sorrows take thee as a woman in travail? Question mark. Okay, that's all plain speaking. And 22 is a new paragraph. And if thou say in thine heart, wherefore come these things upon me? Question mark. For the greatness of thine iniquity are thy skirts discovered, and thy heels made bare. Okay, so obviously he's went over their iniquity here. I mean, with similitude and then plain speaking. But here he's going to explain it again. They ask a question, why is it happening to me? In 23, here's a similitude. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Or the leopard his spots? Question mark, question mark. Then ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Okay? What he's telling you, you're accustomed to this evil. God's let it go on. And you're not going to change your ways here. The Ethiopian's not going to change his skin. The leopard's not going to lose his spots. And you're not going to quit doing evil. So there you go, bye-bye, carried away, scattered abroad. 24. Therefore will I scatter them as the stubble that passeth away by the wind of the wilderness. So we all know here when it says, therefore will I scatter them as the stubble, we know the similitude of the stubble, the useless part of the plant. It's not good for anything. That passeth away by the wind of the wilderness. Okay, so he's calling them stubble, and that's people ready for destruction and judgment by the Lord. 25, this is thy lot, the portion of thy measures from me, saith the Lord, because thou hast forgotten me and trusted in falsehood. And again, when it comes to this Satan, this Satanism, this Luciferianism, it is based on the power of the lie. It is based on deceit, deception, and really self-destruction. The Ouroboros, it bites itself in the tail. Satan will destroy itself. All the people following Lucifer will turn and rend themselves. Okay, 26, therefore will I discover thy skirts upon thy face, that thy shame may appear. So, all right, I'm going to use layman's terms here. You're going to have your skirt, you're going to be lifted, and you're going to be butt naked before everybody. Okay, there. And that's plain speaking. 27, I have seen thine adulteries and thy neighings. Remember what I said about neighings? The similitude of the horse, neighing after his neighbor's wife. Remember that? Because it's going to be used in prophecy now. Neighing. So don't forget that. All right. 27, I have seen thine adulteries and thy neighings, the lewdness of thy whoredom, and thine abominations on the hills in the fields. Woe unto thee, O Jerusalem! Wilt thou not be made clean? Question mark. When shall it once be? And we do have an answer to that. We realize that when Christ returns, that there's going to be a remnant of all peoples, all bloodlines. That will be his, and they will be gathered, and they will be with him forever. However, that is a remnant. It is not the majority here. And notice the abominations. That's the idolatry and all the sins that are involved in it. Notice the hills and the fields. That's the outdoor ceremonies and festivals to these ungodly gods. And that's what it is. And so this does not look good. This is mostly directed at them, at this Nebuchadnezzar carrying away. However, there were a couple of these statements that went all the way to modern times. Okay, so there's that in 13, and now we're going to move right ahead into 14. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.